Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Campagno here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. And also joining us today, Kennedy, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast. Late night TV host Jimmy Kimmel is officially off the air. ABC indefinitely suspending Kimmel's late night talk show after he made these comments about Charlie Kirk.
With all these terrible things happening, you would think that our president will at least make an attempt to bring us together, but he didn't. We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Democrats and Hollywood insiders were quick to condemn the suspension as an assault on free speech. The Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild both releasing statements calling the move a violation of the First Amendment. But when you dig deeper, the move by ABC came after Nexstar and Sinclair, two major players who own a ton of ABC affiliates across America, announced that they were preempting his late night show. Nexstar, in a statement to the Wall Street Journal, said, quote, "Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of the local communities in which we are located." Meanwhile, President Trump said this morning that he won't lose any sleep over ABC's decision.
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Kennedy, I'm so grateful that you're here with us today to be able to opine on this, because your voice is so valuable, having been on air for so long and in a comedic element for much of it. And my question to you is, the criticisms of this being First Amendment related, is that accurate here? Or is this more an issue of accountability for one's behavior and the fact that networks have to answer to advertisers that if the content doesn't reflect the values and opinions of the audience, then yes, it's perfectly fine to say your time here is up?
Yeah, so, 23 years ago, when Jimmy Kimmel started his show, the media landscape was very, very different than it is now. And there are a lot of people who have their own avenues and own mediums where they can opine at will to a specific audience, and some of them do very, very well financially. You have Jimmy Kimmel, who had become over the years less funny and more politicized and had ostracized so much of his audience. And he even said after the 2024 election, he didn't want Trump voters watching his show, and he didn't care if they were offended by his content. Now, if you're Sinclair, if you're Nexstar, if you are one of these ABC affiliate owners and you're looking at that, that's a person who is inviting half of the viewership in this country to go to those new mediums and check out different shows and different options, for which there are many right now. So you have that, an unsustainable business model, $100 million a year, 150, 200 people on staff. You have to pay each and every one of them. Many of them are members of some of these guilds and unions, and that's obviously why they are releasing statements today. So that has been unsustainable for a long time. When ABC saw CBS pull the plug on Stephen Colbert, they realized we do not have to continue to make this kind of investment. CBS was the trailblazer. ABC followed suit. They were just waiting for the moment. And unfortunately for Jimmy Kimmel, he threw the door open and invited them to put his show on hiatus indefinitely. Will he come back? We don't know that right now. I do have an issue with some of the statements made by Brendan Carr, because if there were an FCC commissioner on the other side of the political spectrum, from someone maybe on this network, and they didn't like their speech, would they put pressure on, some of some of the advertisers? Yep. And, if someone from Fox moved on to Fox Broadcast, to some of the owned and operated stations there, that's the part of this that I do not like.